Hey guys, welcome back to Do It Live. It's been a while. I say that very often. I'm going to make a few videos and release them over the next few weeks as I'll be going into surgery. I'm not too sure how I'll feel afterwards, but we'll get into that later. Right now, let's switch into a different gear and take a look at the Nvidia Shield Portable. A nice little gaming portable device that I picked up and I want to share with you guys. So as you guys know, I do like portable devices. I love phones, tablets. I have many reviews. You check a few of them up in the eye over there. And also, I also like the Switch, which is a portable home console hybrid that they've come out with from Nintendo. And I love that, and I forgot that I had this Nvidia Shield laying around, and I wanted to revisit it and see, hey Dexter, and see just how good this thing is in comparison to something like the Switch. Can you play quality games on this? And is it good enough of a gaming device to take place of something like the Switch, or at least complement it? So let's take a look. So this is the box that it comes with. It's actually really badass. Sorry for the language. Bad rear. But it is a portable gaming experience. It runs Android. It's made by Nvidia, which makes computer graphics chips, but they have been diving into the Android device library quite a bit, and it's got a really fancy packaging, all this cool stuff inside. Obviously, I've already owned this, so I've already opened it up and all that stuff. But inside you get the usual manuals and warranty stuff. You get a charging cable and a charging adapter, a wall adapter, sorry. Let's see how much this is rated at. So, it's just your usual 5 volt at 2.1 amps. So that's what's in the box for you guys to know, and of course the actual shield is in the box as well. So let's close this back up. It's a really cool box. There you go. Great. And so it is a bit of an old device. It has not been on the market for a while, so you would have to buy this used or on eBay. But if you have been looking in the market, or you see one in the market for cheap, I definitely think you should pick it up, and we'll go over why once I put this little serial code back in there. Get in there. Close up nicely. Oh, and we'll cut for a second while I put this back together. Alright, it's all packaged back up and we're good to go. So, let's take a look at the device itself. So it looks just like a controller, except it's got a top shell on it. This thing is removable and replaceable. It doesn't make a difference. I guess it's just nice if you find a replacement or you scratch yours up, it's not a big deal. But the main feature of this device is that it has a controller built in. So essentially, you get a 5-inch screen. I believe it's 720p, and you get a full controller interface right here. You get your D-pad, you get 2 analog sticks, and really well designed and well crafted analog sticks. It feels like an Xbox 360 controller. You get your 4 buttons, X, B, Y, and A. And you also get 2 trigger buttons, just like an Xbox 360 controller or Xbox One. 2 triggers and 2 buttons to get working there. So also on the controller face, there's 2 front-facing speakers, which is really nice. As when you're gaming, you want the speakers to come into your face and not down towards the bottom, not towards the top or the sides. Right in your face, it's perfect. These 2 analog sticks clip down really nicely and they're really good. And then you have your home button, volume, back, and also like a start button. In the middle is an Nvidia button, which launches the Nvidia launcher, which you can access some exclusive Shield games, as some games are supposed to be console quality and require a Shield device to run on. As well as there's this thing called GeForce Now, which lets you stream games from a cloud. The cloud takes care of all of the processing for you. You just need a Wi-Fi connection and you play on your game. So you're playing full console and PC games on this thing, and I will get into that a little bit later. But overall, the device is nice. Oh yes, the screen is touchscreen. I forgot to charge this, so we will charge this. But It is a 5-inch touchscreen, and honestly, games look really good on it. It's fine that it's 720p because honestly, at this size, 1080p is not going to look that much better, and it's just going to run cooler, faster, and quieter if it doesn't have to output 1080p, right? So it's overall really good. The design is good. It feels great in your hand. It's not that heavy. I don't know the exact specs of the weight, but honestly, it's not much heavier than a tablet or your average controller, and everything is built into this, and it's great. Let's get into the I/O on the back. You get a micro SD card slot right there. You get I believe that's a mini HDMI. Yeah, mini HDMI, micro USB port, and a headphone jack, obviously, so you can play games quietly. But it's great because it uses the same charger as most of the Android devices out there. So you can charge your phone and this whenever you need with the same cord. Or if you have a portable battery pack, which honestly the battery life on this is amazing, but you can still charge this with a battery pack that you would charge your conventional phone with. Obviously, micro SD is pretty necessary as you need to store games, which we will get into later, and an HDMI port means that you can hook it up right to your TV, play on the controller, and be playing as if it's a console. So it's really interesting. Now we'll get into the types of games that you can run on this device. So we're down here in the lab, and let's turn this on. You press this to turn it on. Right now, obviously it was just in sleep mode, but what's great is you can browse around the actual Android system using the included gamepad. So, like I mentioned, one of the greatest features about this device is its gaming prowess, and the fact that you can use, focus my camera, that you can use emulators, like for example, Game Boy Advance. Oops, that's not it. There you go. Of course, make sure you own the actual game in question and that you're using a backup. Right. So there's an example there. Game Boy Advance. Another one of my favorites is let's see, a PSP emulator. So Android has come so far that it can emulate PlayStation Portable games, which honestly are pretty demanding and still quite substantial games. Not exactly console quality, but almost there. A lot of good games are on PSP, so if you can download the game and get it onto your Android device, works really well. And you can see that I'm using the controls there. Looks just like a PSP. Really great. Works really well. It's a whole lot of fun. And PSP is probably the strongest emulator on this console that I know of for now, but just wanted to show you that there. Of course, there are Android native games, so games that were made for Android or ported to Android after the fact, and this is one of my favorite ports. Fully controllable using the gamepad. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So as you guys know, this is a PlayStation 2 game, or some of you might know, but fully ported to the Android system and usable on this Nvidia Shield. So like I said, again, if you have Android games that you have bought in the past or that you have on your phone, works just fine on this gamepad. Of course. Oh yeah, I didn't hit the building, but I hit the pole. No big deal. Get out. Do I have any weapons right now? No, I don't. Yeah. Take that, yeah. There you go. And there are a whole lot more emulators that you can get on the Android system, and they work great with the Shield. Some of them you may have to configure the button inputs, but just a few seconds of configuration and you're good to go in this small little package. So after coming back from the lab, which we didn't really need to go to because this is a portable device, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the idea of a console that's simply the size of a controller that has a screen attached? How do you feel about Android being your console or portable experience? It's very similar to the phone, except the games that are available to you are pretty decent. But the fact that you can run emulators and run backups of your favorite games and even retro games is really amazing. There's emulators for PlayStation Portable, which I've showed you, PS1, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, you name it. There are retro emulators for this because it's Android and everyone has, well, not everyone, almost half the market are Android devices, and if people are developing apps for those phones, that means those apps will run on this, and a lot of those have capability for keyboards and, surprisingly, controller support, because people will buy Bluetooth controllers and put their phone down and play on their phone. There has been attachments where you can attach a controller to your phone, and essentially it's this, except this one is a bit more of a clamshell design and all-in-one by itself. Battery life is also better on this because of the 720p screen. And also, you don't want to drain your phone if it is your emergency device, or if you use it to make calls and texts and stuff. If you play too many games on it, your battery's going to run out. So having a separate device with its own separate battery that you can just play on and just use this for calling and texting is quite nice. Now, like I was mentioning, and like you guys saw, the GeForce Now is nice. It's a good idea. It sort of works. The lag is not that bad, but when you get into stutter or Wi-Fi hiccups, it makes a big difference and it pulls you out of the gaming experience, and I'd rather just play on my PC and get a full smooth experience instead of the GeForce Now. But the Nvidia game streaming, which if you have a GeForce graphics card, I believe later than the 660 Ti or the 750 Ti, you can stream games from your computer to this device, and because it's running on your local Wi-Fi and not going through the internet, through your cloud, there's a lot less middlemen giving you input lag or potential for dropping frames due to Wi-Fi. So I've been playing game streaming on this. I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda on this, and I gotta say it's really smooth, really clean, and a lot of fun to be able to play Mass Effect on something like this. So if your game supports controller, you're gonna have a hell of a time walking around your house and playing with this, no problem. There's also a way to do it over internet, but that's for another video. So overall, I recommend you guys can pick this up if it's around $150 or less. Over that, just get a phone and buy a controller attachment, which I have a video coming up in the next couple of months where I do have a controller attachment, which attaches a PS4 controller to this phone, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you want to check out the Switch video, check it up in the corner over there. But overall, for what I paid for this, 125 Canadian, which is really cheap if you're American. But if you can get this for $150 or cheaper, I definitely say go for it. This is a device that will be really hard to to get rid of and to replace in your repertoire. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Definitely more videos coming up in the next couple weeks. I'll be launching videos fairly consistently as I'm recording them all now, and just pre-uploading them and editing them before my surgery. And so yes, about this surgery, I'm going into surgery for the tumor that's in my back. It's going to be fairly standard, they say. It's going to take 4 to 7 days for me to recover, but no big deal, and I'll be back making videos for you guys. So guys, don't forget to do live.